I think I'll take my gloves off for this one. Hi. I am Tantric Master Sri Poopy Pants. That's not funny. Before you think about laughing at Tantric Master Sri Poopy Pants, ask yourself this question. Are you enlightened? Then don't laugh. Because Tantric Master Sri Poopy Pants is. I haven't left Samadhi since 1993, when I graduated high school and was given the prestigious title Tantric Master Sri Poopy Pants. It was in that year, I was 19 years old, a woman was hit by a car, a white BMW. I remember because it was my car, and I was somewhat, but not altogether, nonplussed by her writhing body there on the street, howling like a coyote in heat. So what did Tantric Master Sri Poopy Pants do? Well, it just so happened that I had a stool sample in the back of my car. It was rotting there. I was supposed to deliver it to the hospital several weeks before, but I forgot. I was very deeply immersed in a tantric initiation, an empowerment given by my master. And I forgot that the stool samples were rotting in the trunk of my BMW. In that moment, however, I came to understand the true sword, the true thunderbolt, the true diamond of awareness that lies in the heart of feces. And this is how it all began. Watching her there, howling in pain like a writhing coyote, I had the instantaneous recognition of the value of the feces in the trunk of my car. The stool samples that were otherwise designated for examination, investigation. I went to the trunk of my car, I pulled out the stool samples. I was in a state of samadhi at that point, so the fact that they were rotting and extremely foul did not matter to me. I was in Sahaj Samadhi. That was something I was working on with my master, and I kind of spontaneously realized it in that moment when I had the opportunity to actualize my higher self by taking the stool sample from the back of my BMW, going up to the writhing, coyote howling girl, and applying the smears of stool under her eyes, just like you see in the Professional Baseball Association when the outfielders go out and they're there and they have the glove up and they have the smears under their eyes to block out the sun's rays. I was smearing stool samples underneath her eyes while in Sahaj Samadhi. And it's as if she rose from the dead. I told my master this story, and I was thereafter initiated into the deepest mandalic realization of the cosmology of the cosmos. Right? So what happens is feces is essentially at the center of the mandala of the cosmos. This is quite an esoteric orientation. But what happened in that day when I achieved Sahaj Samadhi by smearing the feces on this dying woman is I was at the center of a mandalic cosmogony, right? A mandalic cosmogony. I created a universe there and was hence bedubbed thereafter Tantric Master Sri Poopy Pants. And now I tour the world circuit. I use feces. Okay? Don't laugh. This is the essence of Tantra, where forbidden bodily fluids and secretions are used for the purposes of illumination. So don't you laugh. And you're not enlightened. So you don't even know what it is that I do. I work with mandalas of feces. I work with tankas of feces. I use mantras that are feces-oriented. Okay? I do purification rites with feces. And I have an outhouse just outside the ashram where I stay, and I just use that. And every day when I take the pilgrimage from the ashram to the outhouse with my toilet paper, I recite a little prayer on behalf of all the people on the planet and all sentient beings in this manifest realm. The reason this is so important, because feces, and I'm not being facetious, feces are probably the most neglected aspect of the universe. You shit and you're done and you walk away. But what if you didn't? What if you didn't? What if, like me, you found yourself with a stool sample in the back of your car and you hit a girl and she's writhing and howling like a coyote? She's there on the concrete, she's dying. And you take the feces and you smear it right here, and she comes back to life, like Lazarus. It's only because of that feces. So don't even denigrate the fine, illustrious reputation of Sri Poopy Pants Tantric Master Esquire. Do not. Do not. Enlightenment has got a bad name. And there's reasons for that, because people are dissociated from defecation. No, I'm not kidding. Let me just repeat. Dissociated? Feel that? Vibration? Dissociated from defecation. How many of you have an outhouse? None of you. None of you have an outhouse. How many of you, in the middle of the night, take a roll of toilet paper and walk from your temple to the outhouse, which is 100 feet away, and it's freezing outside, because you're in the Himalayas, and you recite a prayer on behalf of all sentient beings, because you... Did I say sentient beings? Oh my God. That is a new level. That is another level. Sentient beings. So this is what we do. Because in my lineage, we're always evolving. I have to be attuned moment to moment to moment to the evolution of our lineage, where it's going as a novel emergent in the realm of form, and how the samadhi of this present moment is flowering in new directions that I can track in real time. Sentient beings. So when I'm walking to have my defecation, and I'm dedicated to my defecation, it's the dedication of defecation for all sentient beings. So repeat that one more time. That's going to be our mantra. The dedication of defecation for all sentient beings. This is how the lineage evolves, right? You just saw it. Don't laugh. You're not enlightened. You have no idea what I just did. How I kicked ass with my native attunement to the unfolding of samadhi moment to moment, via stool samples, via outhouses, via sentient beings, and the dedication of defecation. We have rituals, we have mantras, we have mandalas, we have tankas, we meditate. He's enlightened. So enlightened. But like this, he doesn't know. He's like this. is total erectile dysfunction. We called him Tantric Master Sri Poopy Pants because of his erectile dysfunction. I see this a lot. I see it so much in my students. They get really, really carried away. They really get carried away because there's a lot of vocabulary, a lot of things that we can draw from to make ourselves feel aggrandized and augmented. It's just kind of a preliminary experience, really, just a level 1 kind of grasshopper thing. Tantric Master Sri Poopy Pants was given that title because I saw his propensity for self-inflation. You know, he's able to raise the dead, and that's a wonderful thing. And he discovered his unique gift. Did any of you see Doctor Strange? There's this cape. He goes towards Doctor Strange because it's his unique accompaniment, his unique companion. And I think that with Sri Poopy Pants, it's clear that his relationship to defecation is a special thing for him. And I'm excited for him because not many people do understand the value of feces. You know, Nietzsche talked about feces when he was discussing the transvaluation of all values in the context of Christianity. And so what he did is he said, you know, feces. So Tantric Master Sri Poopy Pants has discovered something. This is real. We need to acknowledge his ingenuity in his industry with respect to feces, and how he has been able to take that fortuitous, adventitious moment of discovering a stool sample in his trunk and using it to raise the dead. But what he didn't realize was that I was the little girl. That was an emanation. There's so much, so much above and beyond his cognition, which is a great lesson for all of us, which is a great lesson for me. Because if someone can be so vainglorious and so preoccupied with his gifts to think that he's enlightened and everybody should kowtow to him and be obsequious, then I can do the same and you can do the same. Humility. Humility is not this kind of disempowered self-effacement. There's a great nourishment. There's a great composting. I'm proud. I am proud. I'm proud of him, Tantric Master Sri Poopy Pants, because what he's doing, where he's going, the path that he's trailblazing, not many people understand. You know? It's not something that's easily fathomed with your linear, discursive, analytical intellect. It's not. I sometimes wonder, and you may too, whether I would have discovered my aptitude for fecal resurrection if I hadn't hit that girl and found the stool samples and then built my life strategically, architecturally upon that epiphany. What would I be now? Would I be so obsessed with the nightly pilgrimage to the outhouse, trailing my toilet paper behind me, dedication to defecation for all sentient beings? Where would I be now? I'm thinking of breaking free of my master. It's been some time. It's been about 25 years, and the whole allegiance thing, the whole fidelity and fealty to one's superiors, well, that's nice. But my teacher, she doesn't get it. She doesn't get how, when you start to liberate people by means of feces, through that purification and that initiatory rite, and those mandalas and mantras and all of it, when your cosmogony is centered preeminently upon defecation, the whole world changes. All of reality, the multiple dimensions of which we swim like a fish, it all comes tumbling down into one act, which is squatting in an outhouse. She thinks, and this is where she will spread herself thin across all the kind of panoply of spiritual technologies and think that all these different perspectives are. I don't do any of that. I've found that truth. And it's always that perpetual dilemma. Do I go deep and narrow with one truth that can take me very, very far across the edge of the universe, but kind of emaciate me in the process because I'm depriving myself of this cornucopia of perspectives from multiple array of possibilities? Oh, I'm going deep and narrow. It's feces and feces only. Because I do want to make a name for myself historically. I want to be a sociocultural scion in the halls of history. When you find something that's innovative, it's unique, it's sans pareil, it's sui generis, it's exquisitely original, you don't give that up. And if your lineage is banging down the door and telling you, hey, what's up with the fascination with the feces? Get over it. You don't surrender. You don't capitulate to the master. You break off. You break free. You do your own thing. You go rogue on behalf of a feces cosmogony. There are times when I think I'm crazy because no one is at all resonating on this frequency. No one gets it at all. I brought a woman from the precipice of death and brought her back into this plane of existence. I did it at 19. Do you know how many people I've saved with feces? Do you have any clue? No, you don't. Do you even believe? And you don't, so I'm really the only one. My master, she doesn't believe. She keeps talking about emanations, as if she's the one that emanated herself thousands of times so that I could smear feces like a priest on the forehead of Ash Wednesday. No, that's bullshit. That's her envy. That's her envy of my gift. No one, you know how that is when you get to that point, when you're so unique that people try to undermine you and they throw you under the bus. And they say, for your own spiritual welfare, you might want to back off and dial it back. I'm not doing that. See, I am not this kind of spiritual cosmopolitan elitist. Not everybody can get samadhi, but everybody gets feces. Everybody can do that. Right? Not everybody can sit on a meditation cushion and realize nirvana. But everybody shits. Everybody, without exception, shits. Every sentient being shits. So, what do? I blaze on ahead. I am a pioneer. I am a frontiersman. I am going to create a spirituality that is mondalically configured around defecation, and it's for everyone. Leave a comment if you think I'm onto something. Leave a comment if you think you'd like to be someone who learns from me and my students' lineage, and just leave a comment if you'd like to learn how to carry yourself with majesty on the way to the outhouse. Not this kind of walk of shame where you're trailing toilet paper outside of your pant leg. I've lost him. You know, you give it all away to somebody, and you hope that they have the moral integrity to make the right decision at the right time. But it's hard because when we plug in to Source and we realize our home, this great mystery of being, this spirit that is inexhaustible, this sentience that's infinite, and then we hijack it with some kind of triviality, some kind of wound, some kind of lostness, a deficit where we take this infinite and we bastardize it into some kind of cosmogony, a feces, like a whole universe built on absurdity. We just hijack whatever we can because we feel so deprived. How many students have I lost? How many times have I tried to awaken them with an emanation? How many times do they diminish the magnitude of the message that I send? It's not about you. You make it about you. And then you can go so deep, so beyond you. And then you're resurrected. And the fullness of the entire realm of being in the universe just pushes through your being, to your body mind. And it's about you. But not the little dude. So many years back, taking a stool sample out of the back of the BMW and smearing it on the face of a girl howling like a writhing coyote. It's not that you. It's not that dude. You have to die. There's no feces. There's no being resurrected by defecation and all that. That's all just some guy. Some rogue Jedi. It's painful. Going off. Creating a palace of delusion. But I take solace. Because what I realized is that, as painful as it is to have someone just abdicate responsibility for their awakening, I could probably just be a little bit more careful in the students that I emanate, being that I'm only an emanation myself.